So chapter 16. Zeh klal godel b'avodas Hashem lebeinunim. So now we're going to have two klal godels here. The first one, and this is the Iker, hu limshol. So you have to rule over and to rule on your nature in the chalas muli. And again, the chalas muli is the emotions, the midos of the nefesh behema. You are to rule over them. How do you rule over them? Al yedei or Hashem, through the light of God. Where is this coming from? Elokis shebamoach. So the nefesh elokis lives in your moach, is the Iker domain. So therefore you have the Or Hashem because your Nefesh Elokis is Hashem. So therefore you're getting the Or of Hashem in the Moach, and then is be able to shoylate al Halev. So you're using the Moach to shoylate al Halev. Now the goal here is not to be cerebral. That's not the goal. That's the Litvak goal, seemingly. But this is Chabad, is that you are to be sholet al halev, mean is to control your emotions and to emote and have emotions about stuff. Because if you're doing the mitzvahs the whole time and not having emotions, so then you're either going to crack or you'll just give up one day. One day you'll just hit the, you were excited about it. One day you went to some guy's kiddush, some guy invited you for Friday night, you were all excited, and you had challah and kiddush, and it was amazing, and 5 years later, you're like, what the hell am I doing this for? This is like really stupid, doesn't make any sense, and everyone's just like so OCD about this, just the smallest detail, okay, who cares? And then if you don't have any desire for it, if you don't have any, so you can be doing things and you're going through the motions until one day you just kerplutz. So you need to create emotions for what you're doing. So the best way to do it is create emotions, actually have emotions and emote about it. And therefore the whole point of Chabad, again, this is the definition of Chabad as given by the Balatanya here, is that you use your Chabad in order to generate emotions. That's what Chabad is. Not to have Chabad in order to be cerebral, but to have Chabad to generate emotions, and then with those emotions you'll be able to do Avodas Hashem. And then when you think in this, it gives you some ideas you'll to come out of your Bina, Ruach Das, your Hashem and your Moicha, you'll get real Yira. And then be sur meiraf from the Yira, and more than that. So here and then you have the Ahavas Hashem in your Yemeni, so that through your Moach you'll go into your Yemeni, which is where the Nefesh Elokis lives in the heart. Through there you'll have the emotions of Ahava, and then the Ahava will come out with Chasheka v'Chafetza ledavka bo b'kema mitzvah. So this is actual. You'll just have this like burning desire to be davik to Hashem. But now we have a Yetzer, and even a higher level. You need to know Klal Gadol, but what is put in. This is the second Klal Gadol, and this is greater than the first. Even if you're not able to leholid Ahavas Hashem in that level of revelation, you're not able to create a new level of emotion. If you're not able to do that, then that your heart is burning with fire. So what do you do? If you're not able to create this burning desire, so all you're stuck with is this hidden love, this love which you were born with, which are dealt with from chapters 18 and on. So this says that the Leib will understand with the Ruach Chachma Ubina Shebamoicha Gadlus Ein Sof Baruch Hu. So that you create it's going to be called Tenuvos. So this is a level where you're creating emotions in theory. That in theory, this is a good thing to do. I understand that this is something that's fitting for me to do. I feel absolutely nothing. But it makes a lot of sense. If I did love this, that would make sense. I don't love it, and it's a bit tedious, but it makes a lot of sense that I would like doing this. So when you're thinking about the greatness of Ein Sof Baruch Hu, the Kulach Mek Lo Chashev Mamish, then it's Yata Lo Yisbrach. It's fitting that I would have Tachlelav Nefesh Kol Chayin to be Davek and the Kalel Ba'oiro. So if I have a piece of cake in front of me, and I have Mincha, and I could go to Mincha and stand in front of the Lord, the Master of the universe, the infinite being, And even though he's infinite, he wants me to go speak to him. And he'll actually listen to what I have to say. And that it's amazing to think that the infinite being is there for me, and all I have to do is go and daven to him. But I'd actually probably prefer the cake rather than that. It's fitting, it's better, it makes a lot of sense that I would prefer to daven over eating the cake. But yeah, Lamais, I don't. But it makes a lot of sense that I would want to actually daven. And his nafsho and iso bekirbo, it's fitting for them to be kalasla to have this burning desire for God. It makes a lot of sense that I would want. And let's say mi nartekon, the nartek is the guf, is the sheaf of your nefesh, that your nefesh should be want to get out of the guf, to be dovek to Hashem, be dancing around Gan Eden, rather than watching this. It's not even the Super Bowl. It's some stupid team that I'm following because of whatever happened 30 years ago, and they haven't played good sporty stuff for 20 years now, and they're absolutely rubbish. But I still prefer to watch that rather than open up a Dafa Gemara and be dovuk to Hashem. But it makes a lot of sense that I would actually want to do that. Why am I alive? I'm only alive because my body is stuck here, like a live almana. So Idavka uses this lotion of a live almana. Why is the nefesh like a almana? So your nefesh is like an aguna here, an almana here. That when you're not, your nefesh is married to God, and there's only one possible mate for your neshama, and that's God. And therefore, when you're not indulging in God or engaging in God, then the almana it's an almana because he's not engaging with God right now. So it's like they're divorced. So the almana will then try to marry somebody else, and then you try to marry somebody else, but nothing in the world is a good mate. So you go to Vegas and you make lots of money and you do this and you get a job and you do this and you do that, and nothing will satiate the money. You'll never find your mate in all these things, even though you try for it. So therefore, your neshama will be like stuck in this guf, like an almana that's alive, because you'll never find a corresponding mate. So you think about God and and all these things, and all you want to do is do the mitzvahs. And when you think about this, the ta'alumos tavunos libo. So these are the tavunos in the heart and in your mouth. So you're thinking about these things. So again, these are like intellectual emotions or emotional ideas. And your people live shav shemakayim bo b'fiv. So lias v'toras Hashem v'chatzvo. So v'kena yedayim. So all you think. So that la maisa comes out in the maisa that you're doing all these things. And it's through in this that this tavuna is coming out in the maisa machshava and dibur. Now, everything that you do, every maisa that you do, is infused with an emotion. So even if you're just giving something to somebody, you can give it to somebody with a love, or you can give it to somebody with a disdain. And sometimes someone gives you something and you really didn't like the way they did that, even though, or they'll let you in. Okay, go on, take it then. And then it's like it's done in a horrible way. So that every act is infused with an emotion. So there's levels of somebody on the level of when you're doing the act. So you have every mitzvah that you're doing is infused with an act, with an emotion. And this is called wings. The gadfin. The gadfin in Zohar is a hava v'yira. So that we're in the world of Maisa, and if you have no kavana in your act, then your act will stay. The mitzvah will stay in the world of Maisa. If you're a tzaddik gomor and you're doing it only for the sake of God, for the yichud kodesh barichu, l'shem yichud. So if that's the only reason you're doing it, so then the wings the Ahavin Yira that's in there will fly up the Maisa into the world of Etzilus. And therefore, when you go to Gan Eden or whatever, then you'll be like beyond Gan Eden in the world of Etzilus with this mitzvah, because that's the mitzvah in which you did. So depending on the emotions that you put in there, so therefore it will be infused with that. So you'll think that maybe since I actually don't care about what I'm doing, it only makes sense for me to know what I'm doing. Again, I hate driving my daughter to school in the morning because I hate sitting in traffic. But this is what I want to do because I want her to go to school. I don't want her to be in the house. I don't want her to walk. She's 3 years old. I don't want her to walk there or get the bus by herself. So this is the best thing that I can do for everybody, even though I don't enjoy it at all. So that emotion, you'll think that since you're doing the maisa like that, then there's no emotions in the act, and therefore the mitzvah will stay in the world of Asiya. But come and so it says here that it's infused mitlaveshes b'maisa that this intellectual emotion will go into the mitzvahs and lift them up. Because the reason you're doing the Maisa is because of this emotion, and therefore it's all enwrapped together. And that's remez by Chazal when they say Machshava Toiva HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mertzarfa LeMaisa. So usually this is understood that when you have a Machshava Toiva, you're going to do something, even though you didn't do it, God makes it into a Maisa. It's like you did it. But the words here don't actually make so much sense because it says Mertzarfa LeMaisa, that he Tzirif said to a Maisa. What do you mean he adds it to the Maisa? Because it should have said Malach Hazakoz Ki'ilu Asa. It should have said like he did it. What's this Mitzarfa Lamaisa? So he's going to bring out that it's the Tavunus that is the Machshava Toiva, is the Tavunus, your intellectual emotion. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mitzarfa Lamaisa, so that you did the Maisa, you did the action, you did the mitzvah only because of the Tavunus, and that gets Tzirif into the Maisa. And therefore it's able to be brought up to the world of Bria. So here, that the Tavunas are able to give them wings and to raise them up. And where do they raise them up to? Till ad Olam Habria. And the Bria, the Olam Habria, is the first thing in its Silus. Everything is God. And therefore, the world of a Bria, so what is a Bria? Bria is a Bria of Yesh. That's something that sees itself as of me. I'm separate. What is the Yesh? A Yesh is separate to God. So therefore, the first level that's lower than God himself is the world of Bria, which is the idea of separation from God. So the world of Yitzira is the world of emotion. And then you have all the angels in the world of Yitzira. Because they are emoting at God. They sit around, they sing shir all day. We love God so much because of the emotion that's coming out of them. Because they have this forming and therefore that. But the world of Bri is higher than all this. So therefore that this Tavunus is actually on a higher level than a lot of the other emotions that the emotion. Let's say if you go to Uman Rosh Hashanah and you have this amazing emotional Rosh Hashanah, that's because of everyone around you. That's coming from the world of Chagas, and therefore it's actually only the Maisa only goes up to the world of Yitzira, because the world of Yitzira is a world of emotion. The world of Bria is actually higher than that, and you also have the benefit of that. God is actually a mitzdarfin in himself, and that's so he's like schlepping it up into this world, because it's EF have some Maisa. It couldn't do it. Imlo Kodesh Baruch Hu mitzarfin umachabrim lebechinas Maisa. So God is like putting these emotions together. So God's like the chef in this. So it has even higher life. Ava balav hachi nami oilam. So even without God taking out, it's roy that it goes up to the world of Yisira through the Chilud Ruach and Tefim and Mesorim Belev, because you still have this ahavas misuteris, which you get from the avos, that just because you're a Jew, again, your core essence is God, and therefore your core essence, all it wants to do is be one with God, and therefore it has this hidden love for God. Every Jew just wants God, so you'll go up to Yitzira anyway out of those emotions. Now, chapter 17 goes back to the cover page. And in the cover page, he brings that he's giving a explanation of this pasuk. That this is very difficult. Now, everything of what we've said so far, we're saying that belavacha, how can it be karvalecha beficha ubelavacha in your mouth and also in your heart? How can it be easy in your heart? Because we've said that she'ein korov ma'od davar in your libo, because we've said that the only the tzaddikim, the heart is in their rishus. Your emotions are eno, they're not revealed in your heart like burning fire. But we're going on the idea of zekolarim ki hayom la soso, that here in the pasuk it's befichol aracha la soso. It's enough to do it. That it's korov alecha. That's easy to do it. Rotzaloymar ahava mavia lidei asiyah hamitzvah bovad. That you have enough. It's easy to bring yourself to do the mitzvah. How can you bring yourself to do the mitzvah? Through the tenuvos, which we explained in the previous chapter. And when you kaskonim b'kadla saying sof baruchu yilib b'muach al kolpanim, so you hear b'muchu al kolpanim. It will make sense al kolpanim. It'll give you enough ahava to do the mitzvah and the Torah, and therefore it's easy for you. It's karvalecha la soisoi. It's easy for you to bring yourself to do the mitzvah, because just start thinking about stuff. Again, if you don't want to go daven, so start thinking about how great God is and how amazing it is that the infinite being wants to hear what you have to say, and He's actually going to listen to you. Unlike everyone else in your life who doesn't listen to you, God, the infinite being, He wants to listen to you. I'm just thinking about that. I was okay, so we'll go daven. Okay, fine, whatever. Now, it goes in and says that the Rishayim, their leiv is not in their Rishus, and their Moach is that they can't, that the Moach Sholat al Halev, that does not apply to the Rishayim, but the Rishayim are Nikra Mason. The Rishayim, even though when they're alive, they're called Mason, and the Torah doesn't speak to Mason, but Lo Dibra Torah b'Mason. So therefore, even though that the Rasha, of course, the Torah is referring to everybody, but the Rasha is like a mace, and the Torah is not referring to a mace. So therefore, everybody who the Torah is speaking to has this ability to conjure up Chabad in order to create a desire to do something. So then you'll say that the Rasha can never do Avodas Hashem. It says no, that the Rashim, because they can't. The Rasha has to go through a level of teshuvah, the teshuvah tatah, to even bring him back to the case of where he can be in control of his moach sholet al halev, and there he'll be back into the. He has to first do the teshuvah to change his status. Once he changes his status, then he can come back to it. So that's the first explanation of the pasuk here of Karov Alecha Ma'od Davar Pichlevach Lasso. So because it's Karov in your heart to do it through the Tenuvos. And then chapters 18 to 25, you're going to work on the Ma'od here. How can it be Karov Ma'od that you'll be able to bring your heart and you'll be able to do the mitzvahs? That is Karov Ma'od. And that will start in chapter 18.